Anyway, as I was saying, lots coming across the wires in regards to changing rates, easing from the ECB. It's devaluing the euro, at least at this point in time. Like I said, the momentum mid to long term is pulling you to the downside. That is why you're seeing pretty much where I've drawn the trend line occurring, because slowly people are changing their perspective on the euro. And that's what causes the downtrend. It's because people are pulling out of euros and they're buying Australian dollars in this case. Okay, I'm just looking for my. I seem to lose it a lot. I don't know if it ever gets moved. I think it's up here, isn't it? Parallel channel. There you go. So it pulls you to something like that. Very, very standard down moving trend. Like I said, this is sentiment driven. That's happening because before, traders and investors wanted to buy the euro. Now, sentiment is the only thing that has stopped that happening. Sentiment rules the market. The mood of the market is what rules the market. Okay, so you're now trending down. So it becomes a case of where do you want to buy? Well, like I said, you're trading counter trend, which is fine. We do it all the time. And you can either be risk averse or more of a risk on trader. I'd probably better represent it on the weekly, for example. When you put the weekly up, things get a lot clearer because there's not so much in the way. You could consider, and I wouldn't be surprised if you get down here eventually, that would be ideal for longs because what you've got is various areas of key support to the left long term, and you've also got the bottom side of this downwards moving trend. Now, as you know, the sentiment is causing euro to fall, but it's not going to fall in a straight line. It's going to have these ebbs and flows throughout because at the end of the day, you and I, well, hopefully you are, but I certainly am very aware that markets oscillate. Okay, they don't fall in straight lines, generally speaking. They go like this. Okay, so would that sentiment continue, which is quite likely? You would end up there, wouldn't you? And then you may see something like that. Now, it's not the case that that is definite every time. Sometimes it will just keep plundering down. Okay, and that's why you need risk management plans. So it's all well and good identifying the trend. Yes, step one, you've found the trend. Step two, you've identified support and resistance. But step three is trade management. And if you don't have that, you will struggle. Okay. Of course, like I said, underneath this stream is a link to my live room. I'm going live with my co-mentor for 3 hours at about noon UK time today. We're going to record it, but we'll teach you everything you need to know in regards to our training library. Anyhow, if you look on your monthly, you can see that the momentum is slightly to the downside. You peaked up here, sentiment ends, and now you're getting this retracement. Then you have a pull up. And if you end up getting here, this is really ideal for longs because you're coming very much in line with a whole world of technical factors. And I would probably see this stock oscillator or your RSI, whatever it is that tickles your fancy, coming down here. I wouldn't be shocked at all, and I think that's where the market's going. So you can do that as you will, of course. That's your EURAUD. EURCAD, you're going sort of the same way, but I think you're going to find it more supported early on. Again, it's all down to sentiment. Sentiment is tied to the central bank rate decisions made by the respective jurisdictions or economic areas. Obviously, that differs between all the euro pairs. Okay, some of them people would rather save euros than the CAD, for example, or their AUD. So you will see a different long-term movement in that regard. I would suspect your EuroCAD will end up down here. And again, you've got reasonable areas of key support. I mean, look at the rejection. It's screaming at you long side bias. So anything down there, once you get there, again, is going to be your long side trading. Euro New Zealand is the same as EURAUD, practically almost exactly the same. Again, lots of key tech factors, key tech confluence. Okay, it all exists lower under that low. So ultimately, wouldn't be shocked if that is the point you get to, lower down, just there. Okay, so that's my bias for euro pairs. Just talking about the euro dollar briefly, I do like it long just here, slightly lower down. I think that is ideal for longs. And I think you've got long entries lower down at further key support long term. Okay, again, wouldn't be surprised if your stock oscillator, RSI, whatever it is you're using to gauge market value, hits your middle. Oh, no, there we are. Bit fiddly, this TradingView. Wouldn't be surprised if you curl over midway, and ultimately you may find that you come down here. In any case, I like it long lower, and I also believe it's long at this point. You've got reasonable support, and it's halfway through your ranging channel. Markets often range, and the midpoint in any range is very, it can be very supportive. So just bear that in mind. So that's your euro pairs. Fantastic. Euro pairs sorted, and a few lessons in trading.